Okay, I'm gonna try to make this one shorter than the last one because it was like 20 minutes, and it shouldn't be that hard because today there were only 3 games. Playday 2 of the NAL, September 8th, 2021, Stage 3. So, what did we have? We had Oxygen versus Mirage, we had Astralis versus XSET, and we had Sonics versus SSG. In Stage 1, Oxygen took down Mirage. In Stage 2, Mirage took down Oxygen. What happened today? It was an Oxygen victory, so they've repeated the trend. Oxygen, Mirage, Oxygen. And Oxygen is looking quite good. The role changes seem to be working out for them. Yago wasn't on the hard breach this game, like he was in the clubhouse game, and I said to keep an eye on that. But he was on the sledge role. In the past, he was on like Zofia, so entry soft breach kind of thing, or well, entry explosives. I guess soft breach is like Buck and Sledge more so. He was playing the Sledge though, and we had Kino and Vertical on the entry explosive characters, i.e., Ashe, Yana, Zofia, and they played the Ashe and the Yana, I guess, for every round. I started doing this. This is just the entry stats, and then if they had any 1v1s or plants, and also disables, 1 disable here. Okay, so yeah, they played on Cafe, which was... I'm not sure who was better for, per se. I think Oxygen... Did they end up taking it over Disrupt last stage, or it was that round like 15 game? I don't recall actually who won it. Mirage lost. It's got to be bad for Mirage. They got crushed by a space station on it, and they lost to XSET, and maybe they played it another map, but they at least lost those 2, which are pretty bad. One was a crushing, and the other one was just a regular loss, but it was against a low tier team as far as NAL goes. So that was that game. I don't have any clips for this one. I have 2 clips for each of the next 2 games. If you're curious, again, I got the bands up here, who was casting it, map, scoreline, all this stuff. You can see that. And let's move on to the next match, Astralis versus XSET on Coastline. Both of the last games are going to be on Coastline. This one only went 10 rounds. It was a pretty definitive win by Astralis. There were several rounds that looked like it could have gone to XSET. It was a little bit shaky. XSET, again, came out the gates very early, pretty good. They actually won the first round, but then they lost the next 3. They went down 4-2 on the half, which isn't the end of the world considering they were on defense on Coastline, but then they weren't able to bring it back on the second half. You see DP Fire keeping up his trend of just being incredible on entry, and just overall, I mean, 4-2 is great. XSET actually had 3 plants, but now we've seen a disable. In the first day, every plant won the attackers around, and that was true of every plant today except for 1, which was an XSET plant. It was like came down to like a 2v2 or something, and then Astralis just cleaned up the last 2. And the second round was a 1v2 clutch by Shuttle. It was I think it was a 4v2 in Astralis' favor, and then XSET's 2 players got 3 kills between them, brought it to a 2v1, but Shuttle from above was able to 1v2 clutch, and I will play that clip now.
Trying to set up for an all-in play. That is, of course, until J90 makes some moves forward. He finds an opening opportunity to get himself, and just himself, to the inside of Kitchen. He's going to take it. Doesn't end up going too well for him, but the good news is DP Fire and Iconic have found successful hits here, and now even better, they found a hop-in on the Kitchen window, following up the plays from J90, and they've been able to get a plant going from that. XSET kind of seems stunted here. Doesn't even really know what happened, but Filthy with a very nice drop-down shot is going to regain control over Sunrise and a possible retake here, although it's still going to be very tough. Astralis got a lot of control very suddenly, and oh no, Razor with another kill. They're both low HP now. That's the problem. The 2 remaining Astralis players should be able to handle it, but just as I say that, Filthy steals yet another kill right out of the hands of Astralis here. Bags are going to start working their way. Now it's used to be flashes. Going to start dumping on top there in hopes of getting a player off of the defuse itself. Works initially, and there we go. The spam from Shuttle up on top.
And then we also had another clutch by Shuttle, a 1v1 in round 6, and then we had another clutch, this time by Retro, for the final round. He just disabled on, I think it was Creators. Creators was outside kitchen window, and Retro just got it off. If Creators had, I don't even remember what operator was he on. He was on Buck, so no angle grip available. But if he hadn't sprinted, and Stokes like yells about it in the clip, he needed to sprint some amount, but he sprinted just a little bit too much, where he was sprinting as he could see the person. He needed to get his gun up a little bit quicker, and you see he just aims at his head and shoots, but it's just right after the round ends. And I will play that clip now.
They've been able to pop open the walls here for VIP, which will allow them to have some angles to try and stop this plant from going down. Razor was shut down one. They're not going to get enough damage onto Prod here, and there's no true stop here. Still plenty of utility in order to do so. So strangely enough, this is actually going to start going by the wayside as well for XSET. Creator's going to start pouring in Rotero drones to try and get some extra information. Filthy's going to end up losing his life inside of Sunrise as well. So Astralis all of a sudden have an opportunity here to make this a 5-3 split. Retro stepping up to the plate on Kitchen now. DP Fire will end up running out. He gets the initial frag here. He's going to end up getting fragged out. Can they find the frag? Retro, does he have enough time? He does! No! Why did you sprint? Don't sprint! That's not what you're supposed to do!
Okay, and then for the last game of the day, another Coastline game, SSG versus Sonics. This is a little bit of a heartbreaker because this is a top 3 matchup from last stage. Sonics ended up in 3rd place, and SSG ended up in 1st place, as you may or may not know. And these are, going into this game, I think these were the 2 overall point leaders from all 3 stages combined. And SSG, I think, was 3 points ahead. So Sonics won this game. They would tie SSG on overall point, and overall points don't actually matter because for relegations or anything, the only thing that actually matters is your individual place, stage placings, and I mean, I guess that's it. Like, because that's what determines your SI points. And if you go to the majors, yeah, nothing. If you do really well and really bad, it averages out to 4th place overall. It's not like you got to go to 2 majors or whatever. And it also won't save you from relegation. Not that that is relevant to either of these. It is only the performance in this last stage that determines if you're gonna have a chance of being relegated. So, right, Sonics versus SSG. SSG goes to Coastline, and like I've seen them do it multiple. They just did it at the major, and I feel like they might have done it at SI too. They went to Coastline and they lost for it. Like, they're a really good structured team, and maybe they thought they didn't have the structure down pat with Skies yet, or they thought SQ's Coastline wasn't that good. And I think it was SQ that had the last ban, so technically SQ decided to go here, so they had something in their pocket. And Sonics hasn't played it in a long time, I believe, and SSG hasn't had a great. I don't know why they didn't ban this. Like, I guess they thought their other bans were more important, but they lost similarly to Furia, and I think it was round 15, and this is only round 12, but this is max regulation. That was max overtime. And you see Hot and Cold still on a killer entry scoreline here, and I think the entry kills were even on both teams. They both went 6 and 6, right? Because right, yeah, and it's more spread out here. But in the end, Sonics win it out. They got off to a killer start. They took 4 rounds on their defense, and SSG kept it close. If they just won this round 12, they would have brought it to overtime, but they couldn't do it. They won 3 rounds in a row here. So I have 2 clips from this, and the first one is from round 9 here. This is the first time Sonics planted. They just plant... actually, I'm trying to remember what happens here exactly, but I definitely have a clip. They plant bar. I guess they just plant behind blue bar. Yeah, okay. They plant behind blue bar, and then I think Yeti. This Yeti ends up 1v2 clutching. Technically, it's a 2v2, but his teammate's down, so it's a 1v2. He knocks the person off the diffuser, kills him off the diffuser, and then he gets the last kill anyways. But it didn't matter. There was not enough time left to win. But so nice clutch from him here, and then so I'm gonna play that clip here.
Quickly turns their heels the other direction. We'll be able to escape it. Good stuff on Super for dodging that. Now we've got the plant opportunity presented before him. Attacker utility is pretty much going to stop any attempt from the defenders to interrupt Super's plant attempt too. So it goes down pretty much flawlessly. Great work from the Sonics after we saw the Nitro Cell chucked out there to respond with their own utility. And as you can see, SSG suddenly stunted. The air jab's going to be the first warning. The second will come from the run-out noise. Regardless, though, they get the first kill in the post-plant itself. It's going to be traded out immediately by Grixer. Kansan finding another one, and SSG slowly losing control. Hot and Cold seems to be the only bright light in these retakes right now for SSG, but Skies has come out to lend a hand as well. He takes down Kansan. Grixer and Yeti, the only 2 left, but Yeti now in this, moves in, needs to interrupt the counter defuse attempt, though, as he's going to encroach upon it. There we go. Yeti stops it from happening, and that would have been it. That would have been the round going into the favor of SSG, but instead, it's the Sonics that fended off with their great plant and post-plant positioning.
And then in the final round, the round that decided the game, it looked like SSG was wise to the tricks of the Sonics. What they did, and it's the same objective. They blue bar Sunrise in both rounds. So they were watching more. They were trying to defend the plant behind the bar. and SQ was getting ready for it, but then they noticed a weakness. They were able to push all the way through Blue Bar into Sunrise and plant in Sunrise, and in the process, they got several kills. They got the plant down, and then they were in like a 4v2 or something, and then they just cleaned up the last 2 kills. Sonics took the game. Unfortunately, this is my first prediction I got wrong. This is one of those games that I definitely could go either way. Sonics have been really good. SSG has also been really good, but SSG is the team that just made a change. Sonics is still on their same roster. And so, right, both really good teams. SSG has a new player, but SSG won their last game, you know, fairly done, like 7-4. So it was good. But as soon as I saw the map, I got nervous, and that's what went down. So those were the games. Oh wait, did I? Okay, I'm gonna play. Well, I can't remember if I said I'm gonna play the clip now if I didn't already play the clip for round 12 here.
Well, now it seems like it's all going to come down to this. Everyone primed and ready. Frag grenades out, stun grenades out. Now the stuns starting to pour in. Where is this plant going to go down, though? The nitro cell goes out. They're actually going to flood directly into the back of Sunrise. Kansan's going to get a big frag, and they've taken complete control of Sunrise. What has happened here? SSG, everyone's left to space. Volt's dead, Bosco gone. Hot and Cold gets one, but now he's downed and dusted as well. They've at least been able to get in behind Couch, but the plant's down behind the bar, and they know that positioning as well. Super with such a strong arm here, he'll be able to complete it, and the Sonics win 7-5.
Okay, and now let's just look at the overall rankings. So Oxygen and Sonics are tied in first place. They're both on 2 wins, which gets them 6 points, and they have the same differential. They're both 14 and 8. So I'm not sure which Playday they play on, but if they keep on this trajectory, then their head-to-head match should be sick. Sonics took it pretty handily last stage, but Oxygen looks a lot better than they did last stage. And there's also just a bit of a rivalry generally between the 2 teams. So that should be a very cool match if things go as they might go. Third place is Beast Coast still, which is interesting. Technically, they're tied with these other 2 teams, but Astralis and SSG both took a loss, and Beast Coast had their bye, so they haven't played as many games. So they got third place. SSG in fourth, because they have a better differential than Astralis, even though they're on the same points. DZ still just sitting in 6th because they have 0 points, but they haven't played a game yet. And then TSM, Mirage, XSET, all on 0 points. TSM's only played 1 game, so they're decidedly better than Mirage and XSET. And then Mirage has a 1 round better differential than XSET. So XSET already at the bottom. They look like definitively the worst team, and we'll see if Beast Coast is still actually 8th, because they looked good in their game, but it was against XSET, which is at the moment decidedly the worst team. I think this is, oh, let me switch. Okay, and let me switch the other tab. And okay, this is the screen that I show in the predictions videos, and I just cleaned it up slightly. As you can see, I got these 4 right, I got these 2 right, and then I got this one wrong. So I think I have a better prediction rate than any of the analyst desk so far, which is cool, but I think I'm only 1 better than Jacob, but I mean, neither here nor there. What I wanted to look at here was the overall points but among stage 1, 2, and 3. So with this win, as I was saying, SQ actually is tied for the most points with Space Station. Space Station might have had an absolute ton of points in this stage, 6 more than SQ, but SQ had, 3 more points here, and now they have 3 more points in this stage. And SQ actually has the head-to-head over SSG because they beat them twice. SSG has only beat SQ 1 time. And again, not that this really matters. We already had the consequences, the results of stage 1 and stage 2 come to effect. Stage 1 just being SI points and prize money and stuff, and then stage 2 being SI points and major qualification. And now stage 3 is going to determine more SI points, more major qualification, and then relegation. And still, it's only been 2 days. Like, anyone could get relegated theoretically, but it's likely going to be. It looks like XSET's going to be in that slot. So yeah, SQ and Sonic, and then some teams haven't played as many games. Even if TSM wins their game and Oxygen wins their 1 game to catch up in a number of games to Oxygen, they'll still be behind Oxygen. And then Dark Zero is 2 points. So if they win both their games, they'll actually tie with Oxygen 4 points per game at this moment in time. XSET doing 10 points over 18 games. That's 54 points total. Beast Coast, 14 out of 51. Still not great, but it's not nearly as bad. And I just wanted to do a little power ranking things. And I think it's pretty well this order. Definitely for, I think, the top 3. I think Sonics look the best right now. And then Oxygen might be better, but second and third, Oxygen, SSG at this moment in time, one of the 2. And then the bottom 3, I think, yeah, XSET. Beast Coast could technically be higher, but we need to see at least 1 more game from them. And then Mirage, maybe switch with Beast Coast at the moment. because Beast Coast is on a win and Mirage is 0-2, but so maybe switch these if you like. And then I think the middle three, I'm unsure of the order for the moment. We haven't seen Dark Zero play. Astralis is 1-1, TSM's 0-1. So, I mean, I guess this wasn't very definitive power rankings, but I think it's like rough. Whoops, don't do that. I think it's roughly in this order. But I mean, I guess if I just had to do numbers, I'm gonna do 1. I guess I'm gonna do it like this for now. And then, I'll tentatively keep TSM here. Like, it's really hard to tell. They've only played 1 game. I guess, I mean, I'm just gonna put Dark Zero and say, just for the fact that they haven't played yet, we haven't seen them play yet, I'm just gonna put him here. And I suppose I'll put Mirage, Bisco. I'll do it like this. So, Sonics, Oxygen, Space Station, TSM, Astralis, Dark Zero, Beast Coast, Mirage, XSET. So, and this is probably going to be more solidified, definitely after next week, after 2 games, but more solidified even after just 1 more play day. I think that's all I wanted to go over in this video, and more predictions and recaps to come.